Hey, Matt here from Stocklock World. Welcome to part 2 of how to avoid getting scammed online in 2022. So we're going to delve a little bit deeper into certain checks that you can make. And obviously the first part was a lot of the basics, which you should all do. This video is moving towards a lot deeper stuff that you should do if things don't quite add up with the information that you're getting so far. So this is for you if you are buying inventory online, if you are buying from companies online, whether you are in my line of business, the stock clearance surplus business, or you just buy and sell products, but you buy from companies and you've met that company or person online and you are doing a deal with them online through email or whatever, and you want to do some more thorough checks on that company. I'm going to give you some great methods to use, specifically if you can't actually go and physically view those goods that you have purchased. And a lot of companies now, they don't actually go out and look at the goods that they buy. And because, we're all busy and we want to do things in a very time effective way. So I never actually go out and see anything that I buy and sell on. So obviously, when I'm dealing with new companies and I've never dealt with that company before and I never see that stock, people always say to me, Matt, you got to be careful. What are you doing? And I always say, well, because I do very thorough checks, and there's certain things that you can do to make sure that everything is going to be bang on. Okay. Now, I did mention this briefly in part 1 where you actually phone up the company. But another thing that you can do when you phone that company is ask for that specific person who you are dealing with online. Someone's emailed you from a company. If you ring that company up and speak to reception and say, can I speak to that person? Then you want to be able to speak to that person in that company on that company number that you've run. And you want to make sure that it is actually that person that has offered you the stock. Because like I said before, you might be surprised that some people might pretend to be a specific person in a company and work for a specific company, but they don't. And that can actually happen. One thing that you need to make sure that you are doing when you are actually buying from a company, and a lot of people actually take this for granted and never ask that question, is are they the actual owner of that stock? Because you do get companies that offer you stock that don't actually own the stock that they've offered you. They are just a broker or pretending to be a broker, or they might just be pretending to own the stock. So you want to be clear on if they own that stock or not. Now, it's not a deal breaker if they don't own the stock. We buy from companies that don't own the stock, but we always want to make sure that we know who owns that stock. Next part is asking the question, where are the goods located? You can ask the question, okay, look, logistically, I need to know where the goods are located. I need a name and address of where the goods are. Now, a lot of the time, and most of the time these days, the goods can be in a third-party warehouse. So they are being stored with a warehousing company, a logistics company, storage company, etc. So you want to basically say to them, look, I'm just doing my checks here. I need to know where the goods are located. I'm not going to be physically seeing those goods. So you want a name and address of where those goods are. If they don't want to give you that, then alarm bells ring. That doesn't mean to say that the goods are actually at that location. They could be bullshitting. What you want to be doing is you want to be looking up that company online, the name of that company and the address online. Check that it's actually a genuine name and address, corresponds online. Once you can see that that is a legit real warehousing company and that's the address that they are located at, you want to ring that company up. You want to ring the warehouse up and you want to get someone on the phone, get the name of the person in that warehouse company and say, look, please can you tell me, we're buying this stock, given the details of the stock. Does this stock exist? Are you actually storing this stock in your warehouse? If they say yes, that's great. And we're also just checking, is this company XYZ the owner of this stock? And get that confirmed as well. There are two really critical things that you need to know. And once you know that, you can be very confident. Invoice. So with an invoice, you want to make sure that that is legit as well. Sometimes, you know, if you're dealing with the scammer, they might send you an invoice, and it might just be, you know, made up. Like, you want to be ringing that company up and asking for the accounts department, speaking to someone in accounts and saying, I've just received an invoice from your company for this stock. Just checking, you know, did you issue me with this invoice? Is it, you know, we're just doing some checks, and get that bit checked out as well. Okay. Next is actually seeing the goods. Now, we always get photos of the goods, the physical goods. What I like to do as well with some companies, when I want to be a bit more, when I want to deep dive a bit more into making sure that everything's above board, I want to get a video clip of those goods in that warehouse, and I will ask them to put a sign on the pallet with my name on, with today's date, so we know that that video was taken today, basically. So I will get a video today, and, you know, showing the pallets, and it'll have a sign on the pallet with my name on with today's date. Sometimes as well, I will get them to actually keep the video going and walk out of the warehouse. This sounds crazy, but trust me guys, it works, just to make sure that that warehouse is where they say it is, and where those goods, you know, those goods are where they say those goods are. I will get them to walk out the warehouse and film the sign on the front of the building, so I can see the name of that warehouse company, or whichever company, on the front of the building. And I will also get them to video a street sign on the road as well, an actual street sign, you know, the nearest one to where they are, so I can check that street name as well. It might sound a bit over the top guys, but this is what we call really deep due diligence. Think about it, we're buying goods, we're handing money over to a company that we might not have dealt with before, but also we're handing money over to a company that have offered us some stock online, which is what I'm doing on a daily and weekly basis. I'm dealing with companies, a lot of new companies, who I don't know. I've never met them before. I want to know who they are. Do they own that stock? Where is that stock located? I want proof that the stock is in that warehouse, and I want proof that they own that stock. So I'm going to ring the warehouse and check with the warehouse who owns the stock. Does that stock exist? I'm going to get video footage. I'm going to get video footage of the sign on the front of the building. Once you've got that, you know that that stock is in that building, and you've already confirmed with the warehouse who owns that stock, and it's in their warehouse. So now you can be pretty much really confident that everything adds up and everything is all above board. See, a lot of people don't do these checks, and the thing is with me, when I'm doing deals with companies, I like to do everything in a very time and cost effective way. I don't go out and inspect goods. A lot of you guys still do, travel all the time, going to look at goods. To me, it's a fucking waste of time. Like, I can do it, I can do all the checks I need without having to go out. Why do I want to take a full day out of my office? That's a full day, pretty much a full day out of my office, travelling to go and inspect some stock, do a deal on some stock, or maybe not even do a deal on that stock, and then travel back, you know, and you're getting stuck in traffic, and that is a whole day pretty much wasted to me, where I could be spending, you know, several hours finding new deals, several hours working on other deals, several hours building some new connections. Like, going out and inspecting stock is just, I don't know why people still do it. It's a waste of time. You don't need to. Just get some samples sent and get some video footage of the stock. But those things that I mentioned are really good for just making sure that everything is legit and you are not being scammed. Like, if you follow these points in this part 2 video, you will be absolutely fine. Okay, you'll be absolutely fine, because you are doing some really deep checks. Please don't buy stock blind without doing these kind of checks, because you're going to get your fingers burnt. Okay, you're going to lose your shirt, and you know, we've all done it, and people just still continue to get scammed and lose money all the time by doing business online with people. Just make sure you just get all these things done, and then you will sleep better at night, and you will have confidence that you are dealing with a proper company, and you're not going to get scammed, guys. I hope that helps, and I will see you next time. Hey guys, by the way, if you like my content on all things inventory flipping, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so I can keep you updated on all my latest content.